I built this rocket stove for under 25 bucks, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how to do it as well. The first thing you wanna do is you wanna pick up an ammo can. Obviously, that's what we're gonna be building this out of. But they've got 50 millimeter cans and they've got 30 millimeter cans. You're gonna wanna use the 50 millimeter. I picked this one up at Harbor Freight. They are regularly, I think, $17.99, and I picked this one up on sale for $12.99. So you can wait for the sales to come around, maybe pick up a couple of them and save yourself about $5. The second thing you want to do is you want to pick up some 4-inch square tubing. This is just your kind of standard. You can get it at Mueller Supply. I'm here in Texas, or you can just get it at your local metal supply house. You can even call up some welding shops and say, hey, do you have about an extra foot or two of 4-inch square tubing laying around that I can buy? That way you don't have to buy the minimum 20-foot joint, but you can actually buy smaller pieces. They do have that available. Just one quick note, this goes here in Texas for about $3.79 per linear foot. And you're gonna need about a foot of material to use in your build. I take that back. I just remeasured and you're gonna need 15 inches of this in your build. The third thing that you're gonna need is you are gonna need some rebar. I recommend just kind of using the smallest diameter size that they've got. I had this actually extra laying around, but I went ahead and priced it for you. At Lowe's, you can get 2-foot sections for about $4.67 each. And 2 feet will definitely get you through this project. And the fourth thing you're gonna need is you are going to need some tools. I welded this thing together, and I am not a welder. I'm kind of a jack of all trades kind of guy, decent with my hands, and just said, hey, I want to learn how to weld. And so I just started with this simple project of putting together a rocket stove, and I bought and used this Lincoln Electric MiG 140. It plugs right into a 120 volt, I think 20 amp breaker. And so it's really easy to use. You don't have to upgrade any electrical in your shop or in your home or anything like that to use this. That's why I love it. And it's great for simple projects like this. I also recommend a metal cutter. You can get one of those at Harbor Freight pretty cheap, but all you really need is a grinder. If you have a little grinder, maybe a 4-inch grinding wheel on it, kind of a smaller one, that's all you're gonna need for this project. So those two tools will get you through this. And last but not least, if you want to do it, you don't have to do it, but I did it on mine. You're going to need some primer and some paint. But not just any regular primer or paint. You're actually going to need what's called high heat. High heat primer up to 2000 degrees, and then also some high heat paint up to 2000 degrees as well. I think they have like 1200 degrees ones. That's a little bit cheaper, so you maybe can keep that in mind when you're purchasing your paint. So now that we've got all that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at this rocket stove, and I'll kind of point out how I built it so that you can do the same. All right, so I'm gonna take you through how I built it, and then I'm actually gonna show you some pictures of it and the way it can be used. So you open it up right here. The great thing about these ammo cans is they're actually sealed and they're watertight. So once you put your unit in here, you close it up, it's watertight. And then also it fits snug down in here, and I'm gonna show you how I did that. But this is going to be your burner right here. I recommend if you're using just 2 foot of rebar, all you need is 1 down the middle. Again, I had more, so you don't have to put these 3 in right here. But how this thing is put together, it comes out just like this. Put your ammo can over here. But this is how it is built. Each one of these lengths here is 6 inches, 6 inches here, 6 inches there. And then you're gonna see underneath, there's a cap on the bottom of it. Obviously it's open 4-inch square tubing, so it doesn't come this way. But what I did is, this is 4-inch tubing right here. You have to cut this out, and you can do that with the grinder. I just took the pieces that I cut out here, and then in this hole right here on that piece, I cut that out. And I cut a piece to fit this, I welded it on, and then I cut a piece here to fit this, and I welded it on. So you can be kind of useful with the materials that you cut out, and you can build this whole thing with about 15 inches of 4-inch square tubing. And so once I cut this out, cut that out, I welded them together here all the way around, and I just started with basically this L shape right here. I started with that L shape, and then once I got that welded, I put my end caps on those, so it was one kind of solid, basically enclosed where it needed to be piece. And then I took my pieces of rebar, and you can go smaller, but I just cut them in about 1 3/4 sections right there and right there, and I put those on. And then I cut about a 5 3/4 piece right here, because this can is actually 5 3/4 inches wide. And so that's going to keep it from moving this way here. And then I put a piece right here on the back side. All you need is about a 1-inch piece, but I had an extra 1 3/4 piece right there. And that's how you weld those, all those there. You can see, you kind of weld everything on. Right here, you can see this piece back here you weld on. And you bring it over here, just like this. And it fits nice and snug right in there. Then to build your little flue, I guess you would say, or your little chimney for this thing, is I took a piece of 4-inch tubing, 2 3/4, and I took some rebar, which these are about 1.5 inches each, and I put them in the bottom, so that way it sits inside right there, and it doesn't move. It's snug on the inside. And then I took a piece of basically one piece of rebar there, a little under 4 inches, and welded it right there. Again, you don't need these two. And then after that, you know, I customized it this way. You may get creative and customize it a different way, but I just drilled me some 1/2-inch holes, 2 on each side, so that the flames could escape. I've also seen some people cut some V notches in their pieces there, which is pretty cool. You can do that as well. But then it slides in right there. You put your sticks in, and again, I'll show you some pictures here in just a moment, or if I haven't already in this video, and you put your sticks in right there, you light them, and your flame comes out the top, and you can put your pot, whatever you're cooking, right here on top of the stove. And then when you're done with it, you just simply take this piece, kind of turn it to the side, just like that, set it down in there, close the top of the lid, and you've got a watertight rocket stove that you can travel, put in some tiny spaces, a tiny home, a shed, a house, on your motorcycle. I've even had some people reach out to me and we want to put them on for the motorcycle, and so all kinds of uses for these little guys here. It's really not that hard. If you go, hey, I have some type of DIY skills, or man, I'm just really dedicated to learning how to weld, awesome, go for it. This is a simple project, tons of fun. You put it all together, you paint it, and you've got a cool rocket stove for everyday use or camping or emergencies or anything like that. But thanks for checking out this video. Please like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear from you. Appreciate it.